Well, I saw the story going around a little bit about Tatiana Maslany and some of the things she apparently said about Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, it read like total nonsense from day one to me, and now the actress herself has sarcastically chimed in about the situation, and as expected, the cesspool that is the internet was basically making it all up. Let's dive into what she said, talk about the quote woke agenda, and whether she's actually suing Disney or not. Now, to be fair, She-Hulk Attorney at Law definitely drew mixed reviews, with most of them leaning positive. I'm actually getting ready to kick off a rewatch of the series, and I've walked all the way through Phase 4, and nothing has been quite as down as I remember, so I do have positive hopes for the series. Now, personally, I enjoyed most of She-Hulk. I thought the ending was a bit convoluted, but it was very much reminiscent of the classic She-Hulk comics. Not only does she talk through the fourth wall, she shatters the fourth wall, steps through it, and then slaps people around in the real world. That's pretty much what happened in the series. Now, sadly, She-Hulk Attorney at Law having a female lead and kind of having pro-women themes did result in a backlash, and the series was labeled woke, or the term many like to use is MCU, which honestly, I hate. The series wasn't perfect, but the She-Hulk is definitely a staple of Marvel Comics, and I thought the series was at least fun and appropriate for this particular time. Now, since then, the star Tatiana Maslany has spent the last few years kind of being targeted by trolls, and shortly after Deadpool and Wolverine was released, she became the subject of a really weird fake rumor. Now, this was completely conjured up by the typical actors here on YouTube. You know who they are. And that claimed that the Orphan Black alum was pretty mad at Marvel Studios because She-Hulk was cut from Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, I didn't dive into this rumor because I knew it was fake when it happened. But now she has chimed in herself, and on a recent podcast was asked if she could share anything about the gossip. And she sarcastically responded, "I was in Wolverine and Deadpool. I had 2 scenes. And then Ryan Reynolds fired me from the show because he said, I don't like these scenes. Now I'm suing Disney." I always talk about how much I hate Wolverine and Deadpool. I talk about it all the time. I also wish I'd just sit down and stop pushing my feminist agenda and just realize that Deadpool and Wolverine made a lot of money and She-Hulk only made $3. That's why we were getting rid of me, because I had a woke agenda and I really didn't want to bring it into the movie. Now, it was pretty obvious to me she's being absolutely sarcastic here and joking across the board, targeting those that made up these rumors. Now, honestly, to me, it's completely baffling that some people basically hate anything, especially the show or Tatiana Maslany herself, enough to dream up this kind of nonsense, except for one reason. They're opportunistically playing to the lowest common denominator on the internet, which is often, like the dark side of the force, is the easy path and often establishes very quick results. Now, would She-Hulk have fit interestingly into Deadpool and Wolverine? Yeah, actually, I think she's one of the characters that would have. But I was never expecting to see her and always felt like this was going to be a callback to the old Marvel franchises, setting them up to show up in Secret Wars. Now, as of this point, we don't have any news about a second season of She-Hulk. We do know she was in early drafts of Brave New World, but more than likely the next time we'll see the character isn't Avengers Doomsday. I do recommend you check out the podcast. It was a hoot. It's called Scott Ackerman's Comedy Bang Bang. You can find it over on Spotify, worth a play, and you'll hear for yourself, really, how much of an absolute joke and pathetic this whole attempt was, because it was never true. It's just sad, and if your own insecurities drive you this far out on a limb, you probably should seek therapy. But that would require you to get out of mom's basement. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Now, before you take off, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, ring that bell for all the updates, and make sure you get every notification, because we do daily Marvel and DC content, and we don't want you to miss any news.